Mr. Moneybags, I just had the most incredible idea for a new movie.
What do you got for me, kid?
Okay, so I just saw this amazing movie called Gangster Squad. Based on a true story, and it stars that kid from Goonies, he's all grown up now, and that couple from Crazy Stupid Love for some reason, and they're forming some sort of LAPD vigilante justice force to take out Mickey Cohen, who's played by I Am Sam, I don't know, and it's directed by the guy that did Zombieland.
So you're pitching me a movie that's already been made? It's a good start, but tell me about one-liners, plot holes, the gratuitous boobies. How are we gonna make this even better?
My idea is to keep the setting, most of the cast, but instead of massive shootouts in Chinatown and witty one-liners, to replace all that with song and dance numbers. Instead of a half-assed tribute to the LAPD, make it a full-ass tribute to old Hollywood. The committee loves that shit.
We certainly do.
Instead of some cop falling in love with a call girl that nobody cares about, we make it the focus of the movie. But instead of being a defender of the people, we make him a jazz pianist or something. And she's, a mattress.
Model actress. I like it. What are we gonna call this thing?
I call it Hollywoodland.
Ooh, they already did that a few years ago. Something about Ben Affleck as a Superman, or there's like a murder or something. I watched Black Dahlia instead. What else you got?
Oh, how about, La La Land.
Kid, I think we got a picture. What did you say your name was?
Damien Chazelle, sir.
Best picture, here we come.
And that's when the money rolls in. So yeah, that's why we picked Gangster Squad, because it influenced the best picture. I'm assuming that's how it went down.
Oh, it 100% inspired the first picture. Without this movie, we don't have the best picture.
That's right. The best picture probably would have gone to Moonlight or something like that.
That's ridiculous, Steve.
That's ridiculous. Why would I even say that? Anyway.
Nobody else did.
Somebody else named Steve.
Enjoy Gangster Squad. Everything I learned from movies. YLFM.podbean.com.
When I pick a movie, that's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me, what were they thinking now? Whoa, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome. It's time for another episode of What Were They Thinking? We are still in Listener's Choice Month. I am Brendan.
And I'm Nathan, and this was considerably easier. I loved Monster Squad. It was one of my favorite movies from the 80s. Now, all these Universal monsters show up. These kids help save the world. It's fantastic.
Nathan.
What?
We watched Gangster Squad.
Yeah. Got about 2 hours. We can delay this, and I can just go ahead and... I did watch it, but, I mean, just to be totally ready. Just give me a couple hours, and yeah, it'll be fine.
We'll be right back.
All right.
Hey, we're back!
Oh,
now
man.
Nathan has watched Gangster Squad.
Oh, yeah,
just to refresh his memory.
Exactly. Just wanted to refresh, because I totally watched Gangster Squad and not Monster Squad.
I could see how you got confused because Josh Brolin was in it and you thought, oh, it's kind of like Goonies. Like
Yeah,
it might be that kind of deal.
Yeah.
But yes, Gangster Squad, chosen by...
Did you say Gangster Squad?
Yes, Gangster Squad.
Oh, I think you watched a porn parody of this.
Oh, hold on. Let me double check it. They were back!
All right. 4 hours later. Here we go, folks.
We both now watched Gangster Squad, people. You're welcome. So this was a pick by Izzy of Steve and Izzy from Everything I Learned from Movies.
And thank you, because this was considerably easier than Muck.
And I was a little worried when her name came up because she gave us a lot of animal exploitation movies, I just want to say.
Yeah, we could have ended up watching, like, Night of the Lepus or Orca.
Dogs. In which the trailer is literally this. Dogs.
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 You like dogs?
Dogs.
I like dogs. Yeah, I like dogs.
You want more dogs? I got some dogs for you. So this is Gangster Squad. Like they said at the top, directed by Ruben Fleischer, who did Zombieland before this, so it was a huge hit.
Good movie.
And they basically said, Zombieland's a great movie. And they basically said, I'm assuming they gave him some carte blanche after that movie was like a huge success.
Yeah.
And he said, I want to do a gangster movie. And on paper, this looks pretty sweet because you have Josh Brolin, Sean Penn, Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling,
Friggin' everybody.
Anthony Mackie, Giovanni Ribisi. I mean, it's a loaded cast.
Michael Pena.
Right? Ant-Man's best friend.
Robert
In
Patrick.
this movie,
Nick Nolte.
Falcon and Ant-Man's best friend help Thanos.
Oh my god, it's a stealth Marvel movie.
Another one! I think they're hard to avoid now.
Yeah, it's getting pretty bad.
So this film
Don't forget T-1000 is in it.
Oh, that's right. Yep. T-1000 is helping the side of good in this movie.
Not General Ross, Bruce Banner's dad from the first Hulk movie.
Okay. Talk about the Ang Lee one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's canon. So this film was originally set to be released in September of 2012.
Yep.
However, of course, everybody knows what the shooting in the theater one that when during the screening of The Dark Knight Rises.
In Aurora.
Yep, in Aurora, Illinois. So it was pushed to January,
wasn't it?
Oh, Colorado.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think there's an Aurora in Illinois. I got.
No, there
confused.
isn't. That's actually a made-up place for Wayne's World.
Okay, well, whatever. Wayne's World is real to me, damn it.
I imagine it is.
So, Aurora, Colorado, during the screening of The Dark Knight Rises, there was a shooting. Many people were killed, and so the movie was pushed to January because, lo and behold, in this movie, there was originally supposed to be a movie theater shootout scene.
Oh, I was unaware.
Yeah, so the scene we'll talk about later when they're in Chinatown, that was originally set for a movie theater.
Oh, so reshoots, eh?
Yep.
Okay.
It grossed $46 million in the U.S., 105 worldwide. Budget was $75 million, though, so it didn't really do that well, but it profited technically.
Here's the thing with this movie, like, it's not a bad movie. Like, there's some questionable stuff going on there, and they definitely take some liberties with history, for sure. But, like, the action pieces can be fun. The dialogue, oh my god. They must have, like, find us the oldest person in Hollywood who still knows all the slang from then, because we're going to jam-pack it.
And then the rest we're just going to make up.
Yeah.
I did read one thing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I definitely did enjoy Steve and Izzy ripping off Ishiro-san and Takahashi-san for their movie pitch. What you got there, kid?
One thing I did read about the production of the movie is that apparently the extras were treated horribly on the set.
Really?
Including no water for 6 hours at a time. One day was 15 hours long, and they were fed with like a cheese tray.
Oh my god!
Like 10 hours in. Yeah. So for the theater shootout that was originally shot, they still threw firecrackers on the ground.
Yeah.
To give it that get people on their toes, I guess, or whatever. And real live gunfire was shot into the air. None of the extras were told any of this.
So they not blanks, but real bullets?
Yeah, into the air.
Oh my god, that's super unsafe.
And then just people throwing shell casings through the air to give it that effect. So yeah, it sounds like a real safe, fun environment for a movie.
Well, you know.
I guess
they had to keep that budget down somehow, I guess. Oh, Brandon's dying.
Yeah, I got the
tuberculosis from Mariah.
Post-nasal drip is what they call it, actually. I gotta say, first off, right off the bat, the poster for this movie was weird because it makes me think that a movie called Gangster Squad, and it has Brolin, Sean Penn, Ryan Gosling on the cover. It looks like they're gangsters, like a squad of gangsters.
Oh, I see.
And like I don't know, it looked to me on the cover like they weren't the cops, like they were it was kind of like a movie like Public Enemies or something.
Okay, so like where everybody on the poster is like the criminals in the movie.
Yeah, like the anti-hero. But I don't know how you can make Mickey Cohen a good guy.
No. Well,
I don't think even...
there's that. I mean, there's that. There's also the fact that they were plainclothes cops, because everything they were doing in the movie was apparently, you know, off the books sort of thing. So there's that, and then the whole idea of you're supposed to understand through the poster that, you know, there are good guys and bad guys in this movie, but you're right, there's nothing to discern the two. Even if they could have got Falcon with his cop gear on, that at least would have helped a bit.
I thought you were going to say with his mask on.
With his mask.
Falcon mask on.
Yep, and you know, in this way that people will know that it is indeed a stealth Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
Josh Brolin wearing the Infinity glove.
Gauntlet. Yeah. I'll take care of Mickey Cohen. Snap.
So right off the bat, we got Josh Brolin narrating kind of the background of Mickey Cohen, dropping some...
fantastically culturally sensitive language.
I was going to say, yeah, he's racist narrating right from the get-go. I mean, I guess it's like the 50s, but...
It's supposed... No. Yeah, it is. It's a 40s, 50s, yeah, but it's supposed to be obviously a period piece, and people did talk like that, but still, I mean... Yeah.
Also, this is the good guy, though. I feel like Mickey Cohen can talk like this. I don't feel like they should be making your lead, like, family man hero talk like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Just get the sense that Josh Brolin was a little old for the casting. Like, he's an expecting... I mean, I'm not saying that anybody... I'm not saying that you can't be a bit older and be an expecting father by any means, but it feels to me like he's almost like the cop that... It almost feels to me like he's the rookie cop, because he's like, his wife is just expecting, she's like telling him to, you know, take it easy on the force and not
Don't
get into
forget, though,
trouble.
he was in the war.
Yeah.
So if he was in the war, he would have enlisted probably anywhere from 16 to 18, depending on, you know, when he got into the army. If this is taking place in the early 50s, there would have been, you know, anywhere from, you know, 5 to 10 years from when he enlisted to when this is taking place. So he, you know, he could be, you know, early 30s at least, if not later. Because I mean, who's to say that he did enlist when he was 18? Because it was just there was a draft on when the war, when the U.S. did jump into the war.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, sure. I thought the casting was a little weird. Far be it for me to judge Josh Brolin. He could be in anything he wants.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this is our second movie with Josh Brolin as the lead actor.
It was unfortunate for me that he was not thrashing. You know,
what if he
Skate Sullivan.
Nothing. What do you got?
Yeah.
But we do open the movie with Mickey Cohen. By the way, we should kind of explain, I guess, if anybody doesn't know who that is, basically he was a huge gangster in the 50s.
Boxer turned gangster, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much owned Los Angeles for all intents and purposes. Well, we start with him torturing some guy. He's got him chained up to two opposite cars, two opposite bumpers.
He's gonna draw and quarter this guy.
Yeah. And then we get this dialogue you were talking about, because this guy is saying, like, you're gonna go in the booby hatch.
You belong in the booby hatch, Mickey.
Eating pudding in your goddamn pajamas.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that throughout this whole movie.
And at this point, I was like, sweet, L.A. Noire, the movie. Anybody's ever played L.A. Noire? A fantastic game where the programmers were apparently treated awfully as well. So it's got that in common.
What is it with gangster movies? People being treated awfully?
I guess to get the, you know, true authenticity of it, they have to, you know, everyone running the show has got to be some, you know, bloodless scumbag who has no regard for human life or comfort.
Well, considering his reputation, I'm wondering if it started with Marlon Brando and The Godfather.
Just gonna stick these bread balls in my mouth and talk.
I'm ready when I'm ready. But yeah, this dude is
Someone
ripped
get Richard
in
Pryor
half.
in here.
Oh, God. Where's that sexy Richard Pryor?
He's a tender lover, I'll tell you that.
I hope he was talking like that on set. He was talking like that on the set of, like, Last Tango in Paris.
I'm gonna show you a move that Richard Pryor showed me.
Oh, God.
Get me some butter. Alright, we're not gonna go there. Let's get back to...
Guys, Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor had sex. That's all you need to know.
And Richard Pryor would fuck a radiator in the 70s, apparently. But
Put that in your brain.
Gangsta Squad.
Yeah, Sean Penn even has like the stereotypical thing where he kills the guy and tells the other guy, "You tell them what you saw here tonight."
Yeah, he's sending a message back to the Chicago Syndicate.
There are a lot of cliche lines in this movie, like a ton.
Yeah, there was
like,
you know what? But I kind of like that because there's not a whole lot of noir stuff. But if we wanted to see a good noir movie, and it's not even a period piece, Brick is the place to check that out. There's some fantastic noir stuff going on in that.
Brick is a good one. I also really like, if you are looking for a noir piece, I really like L.A. Confidential. That's one of my favorites, too.
Mm-hmm.
It was robbed, by the way. It should have won, not Titanic. Thank you. So, yeah, Sean Penn kills the guy. And then we're quickly introduced to Josh Brolin as O'Mara.
Yeah.
Captain, or just Officer O'Mara,
a sergeant,
I think.
isn't
Detective.
he? No, he's sergeant.
Okay, sergeant. Sure, we'll go with that. He witnesses a rather shady individual trying to get a young lady to come by for an audition.
Well, they're trying to operate a sting to catch these guys because they're snatching girls fresh off the bus and, you know, getting them addicted to cheap Mexican heroin and then pimping them out.
Yep.
That's it. Let you know the classy kind of movie we're in for.
So Brolin and his partner, who I don't think we ever see again.
No.
Like throughout the rest of the movie.
Well, it's because he gets we'll get to that in a bit why we don't see the partner again. But yeah, he follows the dude as he's charmed this sweet fresh faced young lass into going to his apartment in L.A. It's never worked out badly for anybody before.
It's a great idea.
Yeah,
just go in. It's fine. Although I will say, I'm pretty sure there are worse audition rooms in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and that are actually legitimate audition rooms. So.
Yeah. So just looking at the interior would have been like, well, this isn't the worst one I've been in so far.
So where do you want me to sit, Mr. Weinstein?
Oh,
Topical.
This is an origin story.
Yeah.
So she goes into this building. Brolin's partner doesn't want to go in because Mickey Cohen owns the building, and basically he owns half the police force, if not more.
Yeah.
So Brolin goes in, and he basically kicks some ass and takes some names. And I don't think he actually ends up killing anybody except for the two in the elevator.
Yes, he kills the two in the elevator.
He puts one guy's hand in the elevator door and rips his fucking hand off.
That was delightful.
Right off the bat, I will say there is some gore in this movie, guys. Yeah. Like gunshots, yes, but there's also like a hand getting ripped off, someone getting torn in half.
Well, that's the thing. Like for the lack of, I guess, inspiring dialogue, they definitely make up with it with the violence because they bring their A game with the violence in this movie.
So much so that I remember this movie being a target for a lot of like violence in movies groups at the time because it was right around. Well, it's right around The Dark Knight Rises, and of course, everybody's blaming movies as they always do. Me. Exactly.
It's them.
Stupid.
That's what they sound like.
It's definitely movies' faults, even though there's been violence before 1900. But yeah, let's blame it on the movies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. But this was one of their targets at the time, like just the sheer violence in this movie. So having known that, I was really excited to watch it.
Yeah. So the girl gets in. She's into the apartment, and she realizes something is up before she even goes into the apartment, but they force her into the apartment, and they are about to do some not nice stuff to her. Mm-hmm. And Josh Brolin has dispatched the chaps in the elevator, and he breaks in to rescue this damsel in distress. I did enjoy the bit of business that when they were going to fight him, they stuffed her in a Murphy bed and put it up.
Yeah.
See, here, you hide in here, in the wall, boom.
And then they were like, "Be quiet, don't make a word." But also, she can't really because you just stuffed her in there anyway.
Yeah. The fight scene was pretty cool too. Like he bottles a guy.
Yeah,
like, that's pretty sweet. And
Brolin pretends to have a gun, and then he just uses his hand and goes pow.
Yeah. And he gets a little nick from the guy's straight razor, but he gets the best of these uncouth ne'er-do-wells and rescues the girl and arrests these guys.
Yep, and then he says, "Welcome to Los Angeles," to the girl that almost was raped.
Yep. Which, it's a fitting welcome. I mean, at least you learned that lesson early. Don't trust strangers.
I just like whenever in movies they do like a quippy line, but you're like, in real life, this would be the wrong time to say this.
Yeah.
It's like, are you okay? Are you okay? Is everything okay? Okay, we gotta take you to the hospital. No, welcome to Los Angeles, kid.
I did like that when Brolin went into the apartment and his partner didn't want to go, and he was all like, "But Mickey, go!" And he's like, "You don't like it? Go get an ice cream."
Yeah. I have written down, I don't know who says it, but somebody says there's two things in life you can't take back: bullets out of your gun and the words out of your mouth.
Oh, that's when Brolin is accusing the chief of being crooked.
Right.
Because when they take in the bad guys, he gets called in front of his, I guess it's his sector chief or whatever, and is basically saying that, oh, you didn't have a warrant, we're going to release them. And you're to stay away from Mickey Cohen's turf. Stay away from there. And that's when he's basically saying, oh, that's a nice new, I don't know if it was a Studebaker or some, very period-sounding car out in the parking lot. Is that how you got that? Huh? Basically saying, oh, so you're on the take too. And that's when he says, yeah, there's only two things you can't take back. Which was, again, I liked it. As cheesy as it is, a lot of that cliched dialogue was kind of fun to just kind of listen to. Granted, I was, doing some cliched drinking as well while I was watching this movie, like I normally do, but it wasn't as required as it was with, say, I don't know, Muck.
That was a good movie, eh?
Fucking movie.
Goose Fraba.
Going back to Gangster Squad. Gangster Squad, okay.
So basically, at this point, that guy, or a few of the guys, go back to Mickey Cohen and tell him, that Josh Brolin came in and basically took all the girls. He set them all free. And Mickey Cohen refers to them, I'm just going to say what he said here, as his crop of cunt.
Oh, I know. It wasn't he's the bad guy. So
yeah.
He's supposed, and it's interesting because at this point here, he actually shows that he has some respect for O'Mara, because he's like, I don't blame him. He's a jam-up guy. He's a stand-up dude. He's a hero. They should put a medal on his chest.
But you guys, I will burn you to death in an elevator.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess, I don't know, man, like, if that's a legit, like, if it is like a game recognizes game type thing where, criminals do have some sort of respect for the cops because they're doing their job, we're doing our job. Our job is not to get caught by them. Their job is to catch us. So
it's like a Batman-Joker relationship.
I guess, yeah. So I don't know how legit that is, but it was something kind of cool to see. However, it does kind of just get, tossed right out the window towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, he basically wants to kill them pretty quickly later on.
Yeah.
So in this movie, throughout the movie, really, Mickey Cohen, I think it's funny that he, the way he dispatches of people is so elaborate most of the time. Like, he rarely just shoots them dead.
Yeah.
He's like, ripping in half, like, burning alive in a building, like, just outlandish things. Like, Mickey, you would save a lot of money on your cleanup staff if you just shot them in the head.
Well, I mean, they're trying to display the sheer lunacy that is Mickey Cohen.
Yeah.
So,
well, like, he's like, we're gonna burn this building down anyway, so we're gonna put you guys in the elevator. Boom, building goes up in flames.
Yeah. Well, because he has that bit of line. He's like, you know what they say, all good things eventually must be burnt to the ground for the insurance money.
Right. That's that old saying.
Yeah.
We see Brolin's home life. He's got a wife that's expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's all,
Mario Enos? Is that her name?
I
thought it was.
Enos?
Mario Enos or something like that.
Her name is Enos. Josh Brolin and his wife, Anus. But yeah, she's expecting, and at one point they're having this, like, really deep conversation about, like, not taking unnecessary risks, and she throws in the middle of it, she's like, you're a good man, you're a good cop, you're a great husband, you're a demon in the sack. I'm like, wait, what?
You know what? She can talk the way she wants because that's the kind of relationship they have there. She freaking handpicks the squad. I mean, I kind of like that. That it wasn't they didn't play into every single 40s trope where it was like, woman, listen to me, that sort of thing. Where he actually was like, he actually listened to his wife. He's not henpecked, but he takes her, her feelings and what she thinks into like a legitimate consideration.
Listens to her, but also endangers her like a little bit by telling her all that information with what he's about to do.
True.
It's like, It's like if she knows too much. Although I don't think Mickey Cohen's going to come up and ask for information. I think he would just try to kill her, as we'll see later in the
More
movie.
than likely.
So then we meet Ryan Gosling. I wrote his character's name down. It's Jerry Wooters.
Yes.
Wooters was got me going. I had to pause it for a few seconds for that one. But he's in the club called Slapsy Maxie's, which is apparently a real place. I've heard.
Mickey Cohen's place.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it was actually his, but apparently it's a real dive from like the 50s.
Yeah.
But he's there checking out the scenery, as it were.
I don't know why I kept writing him down when I was doing these. When I was doing the notes, I know it's Ryan Gosling, but I kept wanting to write Ryan Phillippe. Just another Ryan in Hollywood.
They don't look alike, but for some reason, it's not that far off.
It's the Chris, and Chris.
Yeah.
It's like Chris Pine, Chris Pratt, and Chris Evans. I don't think they look alike, but they are all Chris's.
Just Chris Pine and Chris Evans for me. I don't know.
There you go.
It's one of them.
I can see Chris Pratt and Chris Pine getting more of it than anybody else because they're both Chris with a P last name, but I digress. Yeah, he's at Slapsy Maxie's, and this is where we get to kind of see a who's who of the L.A. underworld hanging out with some judges.
And Emma Stone.
Yes, and Emma Stone, yes. Who's quite the tomato. Yes.
So we learned that she's kind of Mickey Cohen's tag along, his side piece.
Oh, what are they having for supper? You don't remember?
No.
Roast peacock.
Oh, right. I remember they referenced that. Yeah.
Romans couldn't get enough of this stuff. Real classy folks.
I know Mickey Cohen's one of those guys who read what classy is in a book, and then that's what he
puts on
what
airs.
He thinks.
Yeah,
exactly. So Ryan Gosling spots out Emma Stone, and right away when he says Emma Stone is Sean Penn's side piece, immediately I'm like, don't have a scene together, don't have a scene together, don't have a scene together, please. I beg of you, movie. I don't need to see this. No. I already had to see Emma Stone and Colin Firth. That was enough.
Sensitive little boy, Brendan.
I don't want to see Sean Penn getting it on with a 25-year-old. Call me crazy. No? Not going to call me crazy? Okay.
I think it's just implied.
No. So, Ryan Gosling scopes her out, even though his buddy Jack... is Jack, Jack's not a cop, right?
No, he's he's affiliated with the gangsters, not directly with Mickey, I don't believe. But he does make allusions that his boss fixes the races. So if Ryan Gosling, what was his Wharton?
Jerry Wooters.
Wooters. So if Wooters wants to make some real money, just to let him know, and then his buddy Jackie will get him in on the give him the lowdown on the races, so he can bet on the ponies and make some real cabbage. See,
much like D'Lo Brown, he'll give him the lowdown.
Right.
Oh,
there you go. It's in there.
That's right. So he tells him don't bother with her. She's Mickey's woman. It's not worth it. But he goes after her anyway and says he's a Bible salesman. He's all charring her and everything.
He wants to play post office.
Yeah, he wants to play post office, and he's like, I'd like to take you to bed. And then guess what? He takes her to bed. Just like that.
Boom, done.
Yeah.
Just that easy.
Pretty much. I don't know what Emma Stone is supposed to be in this movie. I think later she says she's an aspiring actress, and that was her way in by hooking up with Mickey Cohen.
So it is a Weinstein origin story.
Oh, God. Sean Penn as Harvey Weinstein. I know there's going to be a biopic. There's going to be
eventually.
A biopic
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's going to be too bad he's not still alive, because probably James Gandolfini could pull it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Watch, it's probably going to be like Jim Carrey in a fat suit or something.
Get Dennis Franz. He's still kicking.
Oof, you're going to have to hurry up with that movie.
Anyhow.
Speaking of looking like they're dying, Nick Nolte's in this movie.
Yes. And I love his personal driver is Daryl Gates.
Daryl Gates?
He was the head of police during the Rodney King stuff.
Oh, the character is Daryl Gates. Okay, I was
Well,
like trying to figure out what actor that was.
No, yeah, I don't know the actor, but the character is Daryl Gates, he's one of the real people in this movie, like who are based on real people. Unlike Josh Brolin and most of his crew.
Almost everybody in this movie except for like Mickey Cohen.
Yeah,
And even that one is like.
And the Chicago guy that the one that I can't remember his friggin' name. The character, the one that Mickey tries to kill, and does eventually successfully.
The dude they yell at each other in the restaurant.
Yeah.
He was
a real historical figure as well.
He's playing himself. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's it. They killed him for reals on that movie.
So yeah, Nick Nolte sounds like he's dying from the inside.
And he is the king of overwrought dialogue in this movie, is he not?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a battle for the city's soul.
This thing is a war. In war, you gotta. And it's just like, oh, Nolte, give it a break there.
And you know what? Get some, Cepacol or something, because he sounds like he's about to hawk up a lung.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't. Maybe that was a deleted scene.
Yeah.
But Nolte.
Someone get me some Primatine mist in here.
Nolte basically starts this movie's plot off because he gives Josh Brolin a mission. It's almost like a video game scene before you start the actual video game. He's like,
yes.
I need you to stop his businesses and run him dry and get rid of all his supply and all this stuff.
You played Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yes.
You do this exactly when you're putting together a heist. You gotta scope out the place. You gotta pick your people. Go through the mission. This is exactly what he's doing. It's L.A. Noire, the game, or the movie rather. It's fantastic. I wish that portion of Grand Theft Auto 5 had been a thing in L.A. Noire, because that would have been really cool. Being able to pick different cops and stuff to put together your gangster squad.
Wouldn't it be great if in every scene Josh Brolin goes to interrogate someone and just two thought bubbles come up and he has to pick one of them?
X to press harder, circle to believe. Yeah.
A bunch of people don't get arrested properly because they're actually the innocent one and he just fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, the controller didn't shake. Josh Brolin must be wrong.
I gotta go. There's a scene here. It's the morning after scene, I think, with Wooters and Emma Stone.
Yeah.
And
I like how she's Emma Stone, but he has to be Wooters.
It's much funnier to say.
It is.
He's tapping the cigarette, but did you notice he taps both ends of the cigarette? You wouldn't do that. Like, I'm not a smoker, but I know smokers, and they always tap the filter end to get all the tobacco down packed closer to the filter. You wouldn't tap it at the other end because that's going to shake the tobacco out of the cigarette.
Well, I wonder, but I feel like Ryan Gosling, I've seen him smoke in a lot of movies, but that makes me wonder if he's a smoker.
And well, either that or if he screwed up and then they didn't notice it when they were shooting the scene.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
But I think if you were a smoker though, you would know.
Yeah. Well, I've known countless numbers of smokers who weren't looking when they lit their cigarette and ended up lighting the filter. So, that's a thing.
Well, at least he didn't go that far.
Well, at least there is that, yes.
We were really close to getting dem titties, I just want to say.
Yes. Oh my goodness, there was some side boobage going on there, eh?
Like, ridiculously close.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for the next hour. We've
changed the name of the podcast from What Were They Thinking to Emma Stone's boobs.
2 weeks ago we're complaining about all the unnecessary nudity, and this time we're like, come on, tits!
Blue ball in me movie.
One day, Emma Stone, one day.
she's listening going, I think not.
Not in my contract. I mean, someone like her probably doesn't ever need to, but...
No, she's a fine actress.
She is. So, yeah,
she's MCU as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, not canon, but Marvel, yes.
Yeah, she's in Marvel, yeah, because she's Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Oh, too bad Ryan Gosling didn't have a character in the Marvel universe. I wonder how pissed Spider-Man is. He just bed Gwen Stacy. He's like the Green Goblin or something.
So,
anyway, back to
the movie. Yeah, she's telling him that Mickey's gonna be pissed, and he's like, "Who? Mickey Mouse?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a dated reference in 1950.
Yeah.
And I think yeah, they're in bed together, and I think that's when, like you said earlier, the wife starts putting together his team.
Yes.
And we get let's see here, we get Anthony Mackie as a cop that is totally willing to just throw a knife into someone's hand in a packed bar.
I did like how he was like, "I'm the only law down here." I was like, "He's Judge Dredd?"
Judge Dredd with Anthony Mackie. I'm on board.
Yeah, I could maybe.
Why not?
At least one of the judges, anyways. He actually does approach Ryan Gosling, Wooters, at one point, and cop shames him.
Yep.
Because he's like, if you can't, because he said, what are you doing this for, anyways? And he's like, if you can't answer that question, you should turn in that badge. He pays for his drink and then leaves.
Yeah, Wooters wants no part of this. ... Yet.
Yes, exactly.
He also hires Giovanni Ribisi, who I forget his character's name. Keeler,
yeah.
He's the only one that's a family man, and he's like, spoiler alert, you might as well say at this point, this is the one that dies, because Josh Brolin is like, "Sure you want to do this? You're the only family man. You're the only one with a family. It's dangerous." And he's like, "I gotta do it."
Yeah. Family. He's like, oh, jeez, it sucks to be him.
Gangster Squad and the Furious. Like, so Anthony Mackie, he hires Robert Patrick, who's like a crack shot.
Yep.
And
when you've got that T-1000 targeting system, right?
That's right. Oh my God, he is the T-1000, having gone back in time. That's amazing.
Yeah. And Christmas Ramirez.
Is that it? Christmas Ramirez?
Navidad.
Oh, right. Oh my God!
He does make a joke about it. He's like, he said, "Christmas Ramirez. It's a great name for." I can't remember what he said. It was a great name for a dancer or something, but not so much for a cop.
Well, let's call him Christmas for the rest of the episode. So they hire the T-1000 in Christmas, and Christmas is not the best at anything, really.
No, but he's loyal, and he'll have your back.
I will say, this was the first time I watched this movie for this podcast. I thought he was going to be the one to actually turncoat them.
Really?
I did. 'Cause I thought one of them would. I thought, because they feel like they kind of hinted at it a few times, because even the wife at one point was like, "I put together the whole team except for the Mexican fella. I don't know who he is."
Yeah, I don't know where he came from.
Yeah, that's when I thought, oh, maybe he's gonna snitch, or somebody's gonna threaten his family and he's gonna have to, or something.
Yeah, and usually with the monomyth type storytelling, there usually is somebody who switches sides.
Yeah.
But we do get that with Jackie a little later, so, good on him for that.
Yeah, Jackie's a little on the fence, I think. Yeah. He's trying to stay out of both sides. Also say, I feel like this whole movie, the whole time I'm watching this, I was like, this feels like they're trying to be the Untouchables.
I actually have that right now. I actually, later on in my notes, I have said, it's like the Untouchables, but more vigilante-y.
Yeah. A little less, character defined, too, because I feel like you don't really know who a lot of these people are, except for, the main ones.
Again, you don't have any sort of legitimate history to draw from for these characters, because, they're not legitimate historical characters, whereas with Elliot Ness and his guys, there was real documentation of the stuff that they did.
Yeah.
So, there's that, and...
I just feel like the movie didn't really try to give them much in the way of development, though.
No, but it's because they're like, the way they did it, they're like, boom, this is your introductions to them when he's hiring them, that's their development. That's it.
Yeah. But even in the Untouchables, though, they similarly, when he puts together the team, there's not a whole lot either, but I still feel like you know more about them just from the movie than you do with this movie.
Yeah, and it's also because that the again, that movie, I suppose if you're seeing it, there's more for the actors to draw upon as well to make the character seem more authentic, because again, you're able to look up the life and times of Elliot Ness, and you're able to look and see the life story of Al Capone through history books. So the stuff that you can read that will help that character have more, more vibrancy on the screen. So even for the writers themselves, but this one here, they're like, these people didn't exist. They kind of have to be just archetypes, or flat characters of what you would expect to be a hard-nosed LA cop in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, just the whole time I wish there was like a little bit more. I guess.
So they rip off a gangster farm.
A gangster farm.
When they get all the boys together, and the first thing they want to do is they want to go and
to the casino.
The casinos, or is that am I getting ahead of myself here?
I'm not sure. When you said farm, I did have a note.
The casino was in a barn.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Oh no, you know what it was? That's why that note's there. I'm sorry, I misspoke. This is when Mickey is going into the club, and there's people asking him about different people, and
right.
One of the reporters says, "Oh, what about this guy? We haven't seen him in a couple of months. Do you know anything where he could be?" He's like, "Yeah, he went to live on a farm upstate with a bunch of other gangsters. So they can run around and get lots of fresh air. If you want, I can take you to visit him sometime." That's what that is.
It's almost like he's explaining to like a small child where his dog went when the dog died.
Yeah,
he's just at a farm. We had to send him to a farm. It's fine. Don't worry about him.
So he's basically telling the reporter, "Shut your mouth, or I'm going to shoot you in the face when no one's looking."
Yeah. Honestly, he'd probably do it in front of everyone.
Yeah.
It's like that scene in like American Gangster when Denzel just goes out and shoots the guy in the street in front of everyone. I feel like it's akin to that. So this is where the movie really starts to take off as well, because they're back at Slapsy Maxie's. Ryan Gosling, by the way, we should mention, or Wooters, I guess, has a shoeshine boyfriend. But
yes,
that sounded like shoeshine boyfriend. He has a friend who is a shoeshine boy.
Yeah.
There we go.
And he's not underdog.
Right. He's not the animated character underdog. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Detail. He's wrong.
Probably purebred. Whatever will underdog do?
And then he meets the same
I'm watching
fate.
the fucking underdog after this.
He meets the same fate that kid meets in this movie. So there's a shootout. There's a major shootout from these Chicago gangsters who come to mess with Mickey Cohen. I think it is, right? The Chicago guys.
They're not making. They're from Mickey Cohen. It's the hit squad who's taking out the fella who he had the shouting match with earlier.
Right, the
real Chicago guy. Yeah,
I think he gets away at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they end up in the process, in the crossfire, they end up shooting this shoeshine boy, which I will just say hashtag child murder. Shows up in this movie.
Yeah.
Hey, he's old enough.
I'm gonna try to find a movie where as many animals appear to be hurt and make you watch it, just so I can call out your hypocrisy.
Hey, if you ever saw Ghetto Blaster,
yeah,
you would see how ridiculously it was shot. That is why I laugh, because it's just like, it's not like a subtle like boom boom, oh my god, you shot a kid in this movie. It's like the kid got lit up and like flies into the air. Like it's ridiculous.
So it's not a situation where they're like it's the aftermath and someone's clutching this poor kid who was caught in the crossfire. This kid actually gets squibbed and
the kid got squibbed to hell. Like
God.
Everything. It's insane. And then the kid's in like a full-sized casket. Like it's
oh my god.
But
anyhow,
shot so guerrilla that I thought they just went to like a funeral and were like just secretively shot the funeral.
Yeah.
But yeah, the shoeshine kid gets killed, and this is actually one of my favorite parts, legitimately, because Gosling is just so destroyed by this. Although I will say, you don't really get a lot of the relationship between them, so it's not really as effective as the movie wants it to be. But Wooters is so destroyed, he goes right into the club and nearly shoots Mickey Cohen right there in front of everyone. But old Jackie pushes him into the washroom.
Yes, and stops him. And actually, this is just prior to this, that is when the Gangster Squad, as they get actually called later in the movie, minus Wooters, put together a takedown for this illegal casino in a barn with a bunch of movie extras and stuff. And when they go to take it down, oh, lo and behold, the Burbank Sheriff's Department is there gambling as well. Yep. And they get busted. Everybody gets away except for
Falcon and
Falcon and Thanos. Yep, and they get locked up.
That scene is almost parody like it's so over the top.
Yes, because the cops are crooked to like a cartoonish degree.
I almost expected when they were running out of the casino where they're like bam ba dam ba dam ba dam ba dam
Bonanza.
Yeah. They were cool because they're running back and you just see them going like, that was a bad idea. Oh, yeah. Not a good idea. I'm like, what? Wait, what? And when did this turn into a comedy?
Christmas lets the horses out of the pen and
yeah.
So yeah, and then this is how Wooters finds out that
every time
that they've been jammed up out in Burbank, and he goes to help bust them out.
Yeah, because now he's got his motivation.
Yes,
which I honestly think
he needs to get revenge for Shoeshine Boy.
As much as I like Emma Stone, and in this movie she's great and everything, I think his motivation would have been even better if she had been killed.
Yeah, but we need her for the end of the movie.
Oh, no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like the Shoeshine Boy thing, it's not, I don't know, I don't really get a sense that they're close, because he's just kind of like, scram, kid.
Yeah.
Like the only other time he sees him, right?
Yeah, and the whole time, like, every time the time before this when he sees him, he's trying to convince the kid to go home and not be out late, because, that's, when all the gangsters come out to slap C-Maxis.
All the gangsters come out at night, kid. It's
right.
It's like
all the animals come out.
It's like A Quiet Place. Like you gotta go.
I was gonna say like Travis Bickle.
It's right.
So all the animals come out. Dope fiends. Someday a real rain will come and wash the scum off the city. Taxi Driver, an infinitely better movie.
Yes, not controversially. So yeah, Wooters goes to the jail cell, and he basically pretends to be one of Cohen's people there to execute the two guys, to execute Thanos and Falcon. And
T-1000 and Christmas are actually trying to break them out using they're gonna pull the bars off the window using the Studebaker that they have.
Yeah, right. He like hooks it up to the car, and in a moment of like actual realism. The bumper just comes off the car.
Yeah, because they hooked it up to the bumper, not to any solid piece on the car. It just ripped it right off.
I was like, well, at least they're admitting that this would happen.
Yeah.
But Wooters gets in, and just as he's about to break them out, the real Cohen guys show up. What a coincidence! Mm-hmm. And there's a giant shootout. Well, not shootout, but they're shooting in the dark. I don't even think anybody gets really killed here. I think they just knock them out.
Possibly.
Anthony Mackie, yeah, Falcon gets a good bit of business here where he goes back to the guy running the prison and corrects him on his grammar.
He gets his knife back and everything.
Yeah, he called him Buana earlier, and he's like, that means sir.
Yeah.
Which I think they were trying to allude that the prison guy was casually racist.
There's nothing casual about it.
I mean,
it was the 40s. He wasn't
wearing a suit.
Okay, he wasn't formally racist, but he...
There you go.
It was like business casual
racism. Oh, the 40s.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
And this is where we figure out that Mickey Cohen apparently invented telemarketing. I'm not sure. I
didn't understand what that whole scene was.
He's setting up like a wire service.
So what is a wire service?
Well, it's where it's like for telegrams and sending money through Western Union and things like that. Because later on in the movie, they're like, there's 3 wires on the pole. There's there's the the government one, the Pac Bell one, or whatever the local one is, and then there's Mickey's. And that's when they figured out. So there's only 3 wire services, and Mickey's is going to be the only one for gambling. So that's how there's if he gets that up and running, he owns the West Coast.
So that means he sees like everything that comes through, kind of thing?
Every bit of business for gambling and stuff would come through him.
Okay.
So he would get a piece of every bit of everybody's action, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought the movie took a turn there. I was like, okay, we're going for this now? All right. But, yeah, so they get out of the prison, and then I think, is this where they start, like, they basically start ransacking his businesses? Like, there's that montage of them going to, like, different places and taking them down?
I know because they haven't planted the bug yet.
Right, they plant a bug in Mickey Cohen's house.
Right.
He's not around.
There is the don't they kill the gangster? The one Mickey wants to get rid of. They kill him and his wife and all them. That has to be done so that Mickey can have like everything. And so that happens, and then everyone's doing their target shooting. That was a nice bit of business.
Yeah, where T-1000 is a crack shot.
Yeah, and Christmas, not
so much.
Can't hit so much, and he's also hit him where he's gonna be, not where he is.
That's right.
It's actually legitimate good shooting advice.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah. Then they're gonna plant the bug because Giovanni Ribisi's character, Keeler, yes. He devises, because he was Army intelligence. That's one of the reasons why the wife picked him.
Right.
He's devised a way to use a transmitter to listen to everything that Mickey's saying in his house, but they have to plant it. And that's this part here, because Mickey comes home and he has a sundae for some reason. He comes through the door and here's your returning home sundae. I don't know. He's got his maid's got like a ice cream sundae for him.
With Brolin saying ice cream earlier, this movie's obsessed with dairy.
Yeah, well, the Dairy Council got in on the ground floor on this one. They heard about the budget and were like, we got to get in on the ground floor. Everyone's gonna see this movie.
That's right, everyone. It'll be talked about for years.
And so they're sneaking around in Mickey's place. And Emma Stone sees Wooters, and that's where he's like, shh, don't say anything. It gives her a kiss and leaves.
Right.
Yeah.
I also thought at that point that she might have said something, because I didn't think she was going to voluntarily say anything, but I thought maybe Mickey might get it out of her at that point. Because they didn't really, I don't know, it almost feels like a scene that wasn't followed up on. Like it's almost.
She does mention it later in the movie. She does ask him why he was there that night and why he didn't tell her she was a cop.
Right.
That sort of thing. So I mean, there's that. But what we get after this is actually they do use the bug to listen, and they get like their first real hard target for what they're gonna get. They're gonna stop one of Mickey's drug shipments, and we get a fantastic little car chase. I just wish it had been like during the day.
But not before we find out that 100% Frank Sinatra's in the mob.
Oh yes.
Because they hear Johnny Stompanato is dating Lana Turner, and
Frank's pissed off about that.
Frank's pissed off, and it's like, wait, hold on, go back, what? And then little detail that comes up later is Judge Carter is getting paid in women.
Yeah, he's a Class A whoremonger.
Whoremonger, yeah. Yeah, no, I actually think this car chase is pretty good. I agree with you. The nighttime thing kind of ruins it, because you can't really see it.
Yeah.
They're throwing grenades at each other.
Yes, stick grenades. They're throwing stick grenades at each other, which is just delightful.
Starts out with shooting, and then it just moves to grenades. Also, Brolin's not the greatest planner in this movie.
No, oh god, no.
We're gonna stealth. We're gonna stealth, and we're gonna follow them. And then he's like, "Fuck it, let's get them."
Yeah. This is the second time where he's just been like, balls to the wall. Let's just break stuff and see what happens.
Ask questions later.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well for you the first time. I don't know why. Like when they went to knock over the barn casino, it didn't work out for you then. You'd think you would have been like, what? Maybe I should sit back and plan this, figure out what we're gonna do. But I know what we will do if we catch anybody. We'll shoot him in the leg and roll them down a hill
and tell them they're retired.
Yep.
Which you can see Keeler. I will say Giovanni Ribisi, by the way, is a great underrated actor, and I think in this movie he is one of the few members of the squad who I actually feel like you kind of know where he's coming from with everything.
He's playing to his strengths for sure, because he is definitely squeamish about the stuff that they're doing.
Yeah, and he's like, he's like, aren't we just as bad as them? Which I'm like, Giovanni, no, you're not, obviously. Like, you're not even killing most of these guys,
but
as well.
The thing is, like, if he's straight arrow as he's portrayed to be, any sort of bending of the law should go against kind of his character. Though, that being said, you kind of do away with that when he's told you're going to be on this off-the-books gangster squad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're saying that, he should have known that what he was getting into, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, off the books? Well, I hope it's clean. I'll bring my cuffs. You won't need those. I have a note here for some reason that says, Brolin's wife works for Cohen. Maybe not.
Okay.
So I don't know why I wrote that. I have no idea.
Well, we'll explore in a moment. Because this is where Mickey finds out the drug shipment got hit and they lost all their stuff. The guy's trying to, like, I'm sorry, Mr. He's like, well, these things happen. And as he walks away, he says to one of his other henchmen, you know the drill.
Oh,
they
God.
Fucking drill the guy to death.
I feel like an idiot. I just got that. Yeah, he gets drilled in the head, literally.
Yeah.
And then we get the Gangster Squad barbecue.
Yeah, and, Wooter shows up and says, you're pregnant. And I thought, presumptuous, rude.
You never assume that, guys.
No, never.
Don't ever tell a pregnant woman, oh, you're pregnant. You never know.
Unless the stomach looks like a straight-on basketball.
Yeah.
Never assume.
Never. I don't even assume when it's 100% obvious. I'm just like, oh, hey, how are you?
Yeah. And then she can bring it up. I can't wait till this baby's born.
Oh, you're pregnant. Oh, that's fantastic.
I didn't notice. You fucking liar.
Also, women really like it too when you say, oh my God, you're huge. or alternatively, they also like, you're barely showing.
Do you think you'll lose the baby weight?
Oh, God. Guys, you learn all about etiquette on What Were They Thinking.
That's right, And that's what. And when you use our suggestions, people will often ask you, "What were you thinking?"
Hey, www.ttpodcast.podbean.com.
Cheap plug in the middle of our own show.
Yeah, whatever. You're already listening to this on some platforms. I don't know why I did that. But yeah,
but the barbecue, which is actually kind of funny because there's at one point where Falcon's saying you gotta get your wife a Cadillac. he's just extolling the virtues of the Cadillac for no reason at all. Oh
yeah, I remember that. That was weird. It's almost like Cadillac paid to have that in the movie.
Possibly.
It's like in there's a movie Blue Velvet. In the middle of the movie, Kyle MacLachlan just says, Budweiser, the king of beers.
Shut up.
It's swear to God. But they made it make sense within the context of the movie for like where the two characters are coming from, but that is literally a line.
I really want there to be a movie now that just stops in the middle and has like a local car salesman's lot as an act. You mean Crown Chrysler? Yes, come on down to Crown Chrysler. They got all the cars you need. Chrysler's, they also sell GMs and Fords.
Well, anyway, let's go solve that murder.
And Daryl Gates brings some beers.
Yes. With
I love that Daryl Gates is treated like a total lackey in this movie.
Is Daryl Gates like is he the person one of the people who beat Rodney King?
No, he was the chief of police during that time.
Okay.
Yeah. And he got a lot of the flack because of him not keeping the just the culture of racism in the LAPD at the time in check in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. So Nolte basically shows up to the barbecue also, and he's like, "You gotta step it up." I can't do his voice.
I'd say a good job, but I wasn't here.
Yeah. By the way, probably not the greatest idea to show up in broad daylight barbecue with all of the Gangster Squad together.
I'm just visiting my fellow cops.
I feel like anytime
Nick Nolte sounds like Selma. I don't know, Homer.
Where's Jump Jump? But I feel like anytime they're together as a group, it should be in hiding. because if anyone sees that, if any of Cohen's people see that,
they should
they're gonna
definitely
know.
on the DL for sure.
Yeah, and that's yeah. So,
and this is the part where they do the they start doing all the random acts of vigilantism, where they're busting up Mickey's fronts.
It's gonna be a montage.
I don't know.
Again,
I was thinking more of like that old big band dancey type music was playing. It was delightful.
Oh, not the band?
Not the band, no.
The night they drove old Dexter down. This episode's gonna be so expensive.
I like there was a fun little bit. I think I don't know. I might have been one of the only people who got it. When Emma Stone goes back to see Mickey, and he hasn't seen her in a while. He calls her Claude Rains.
I know who Claude Rains. Oh, the Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I get it now.
I was like, that joke was for like 5 people who saw this movie.
Well, you know, if I had taken a second to think about the name, I would have gotten it, but it went by so quick.
Yeah.
That's a good bit.
Yep.
But yeah, so I mean, after this whole thing, Mickey Cohen's getting pretty pissed off because he wants to find out who's wrecking all his businesses. Like you said, Emma Stone is still kind of with Wooters. She goes back to Mickey Cohen, and this is where he kind of alludes that he knows she's up to something, like she's sleeping around or something.
Yeah, because he's that guy tried to take my title, and you know what? Look what I had to do to someone trying to take something from me.
Yeah. And that's also like in this movie. At this point, I'm like, I think she's gonna get killed.
As
I honestly.
Distinct possibility. She's clearly in his sights, that's for sure.
Yeah, I thought she was doomed in this movie.
Yeah.
So all right, what do we got here after this?
Well, this is where Carmen Miranda's playing at Slapsy Maxie. They don't directly call her Carmen Miranda, but she's doing the Chick Chicka Boom song, and she's got the big hat and everything. And while that's going on, they're coming in to kind of not to knock off the place, but to burn all the money, because they've found out where the main operation is going to be, because that's where they ping the tower to find out where the signal goes to. They do some math on the map, which was a nice little bit. I did like the fact that they were at least trying to show the stuff that they were doing for that, and they figure out that it's at Slapsy Maxie, so they go in and they bust up his wire operation and burn a crap ton of money.
This is also what leads to Mickey Cohen believing that it's cops, because he's told that they're burning money. They didn't actually take
They didn't take
money.
anything. Yeah, they just burned it all.
And at that point, too, I thought Nolte would have been in trouble, because he mentions Chief Parker, who's Nick Nolte's character, and he says, I think that's it for that pig or something like that. And I was like,
a Bible-thumping drunkard.
Yeah,
or something like that.
At that point, I was like, oh, he's going to go out and kill Nolte. And I was like, wait, is that Sean Penn talking about Nick Nolte or the character he's playing?
I did like the guard at Slapsy Maxie's in the back. He did not go down easy.
No.
It took like 5 or 6 punches for him to be down and out.
Well, that's another thing that's kind of good. That's kind of realistic, too, because he punches him once and the guy's just like, ow.
What the hell? Dude, why? Who does that? Why?
Yeah. It's like in movies when it's like one punch and they're out cold. Like, come on.
So after they've burnt up his place, they all go to have a celebratory drink, and we get a toast to the title.
It's very it's the Suicide Squad bar scene.
Yeah. Oh, and Navidad or Christmas is just drunk.
Drunk on his ass. And this is another thing. I thought he was going to accidentally spill here that he was possibly helping Cohen with threats against his family or something.
Okay.
I was like, oh, this is where it happens. Nope.
But yeah, this is and Mickey's super pissed about all this stuff. He's breaking things at his house because he thinks someone's turned a rat on him.
Yeah.
And the maid is kind of shooing Emma Stone out of the house, where she's like, "Get out of here before he runs out of pretty things to break."
Yeah. So she thinks everything he's broken so far is pretty.
Yeah.
Including like the regular just like table.
Yeah. So he figures out that there's a bug. They
right.
find
We don't
the
know
bug.
this yet, though.
No, but they show him scanning and stuff like that, so you know something's up,
Yeah.
and they set him up.
Yeah, they say there's this big thing. There's a big deal going down in Chinatown, which again, this was supposed to be the movie theater. I don't know if they must have changed a little bit though, because I don't think there was going to be a drug deal at a movie theater, but I'm not sure. Maybe outside of the theater or something.
Possibly.
Yeah, but anyway,
Or it could have just been a thing where they were saying they were going to hit somebody.
Yeah.
At a movie theater, and they were going to stop it. I don't know.
Because originally they came out of the screen, they come through the screen and just like shoot people in the theater. So I could see why maybe.
Oh yes, I could see why that would be reshot. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Especially like right after that.
Yeah.
So.
I did like that Flea was in this movie.
What's that?
Flea was in this movie.
Was he?
Yeah, he was one of the toughs there at the end who was working for Mickey, trying to find Grace. Flea and the other guy was
Evan Jones.
Evan Jones.
Cheddar Bob from 8 Mile.
Cheddar Bob. The dude from The Punisher who was John Travolta's kid in The Punisher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was
I think that's who I'm talking about. Is it the guy that was like, he's got kind of like a weird face? He's like a scrunched up nose and stuff.
No, that's Flea.
You're not talking about the guy who comes in and tries to pour the acid on Emma Stone?
Yeah.
That's not Flea.
I thought it was.
Maybe Flea is the other guy, but the one that with like the actual one that gets acid poured on him, that's Cheddar Bob.
Well, let me just take a look here. Yeah, what? Why do I think he's Flea?
I don't know.
Anyhow. He looks like Flea.
The guy that I was talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just insane, but he looks like Flea. Anyhow. So, yeah, him and the dude who
and
was...
not Flea.
But not Flea. Fuck off. This is where, with the... Well, Cheddar Bob, I guess.
Yes.
he wants to, he wants to get, they want to throw acid on her, and, Wooters is basically saying he wants to get her out of town, sort of thing.
Oh, right, because this happens in the midst of, just before the Chinatown scene, right?
Yes.
Because Wooters is with Emma Stone, and they arrive, he's gonna, that's pretty funny, he's gonna throw acid on her. But, Wooters turns the tables, pours acid on that guy, which he doesn't die. He comes back later. So it clearly got his clothes off in time before it penetrated his skin.
And do me a favor later on, we get a chance, look up Flea and tell me those guys could not be brothers.
I will do so.
Okay.
So after this scene, we go back to the Chinatown thing. Wooters, because of this attack, he thinks the fix is in. He's like, oh god, I better go stop this before, they get jumped. Before the Gangster Squad gets jumped, he warns Brolin. Big explosion. Shootout for quite a long time.
At the USA A-OK Corral.
Right. And,
it's not racist, is it? I think I'm okay on that. They use that in Bloodsport. USA A-OK or something like that.
Bloodsport is also known... Bloodsport's not a racist film.
No, not at all.
No.
It's delightfully culturally sensitive.
Right.
So yeah, and there's after that we get a drive by, and Giovanni Ribisi unfortunately shovels off this mortal coil. Yeah,
which the guy. So yeah, Sean Penn or Mickey Cohen or whatever is talking directly into the bug in this at this point, and he basically tells him, it takes Ribisi a long time to realize that Mickey Cohen knows that there's a wire because he's literally almost like, I know there's a cop listening. Ribisi's like, huh?
Yeah, because he acts like he's telling this story from when the first time he ripped off anything. He ripped off like a movie theater with a baseball bat. Yeah. And he ran for 15 blocks or something with the cash box, and he had to fight a kid on every block almost. But you know who ended up with that there cash box? A cop. A filthy eavesdropping cop or something like that.
Yeah, and then some guy comes up behind Keeler, Ribisi, and ends up choking him out. I'm assuming it's like a garrote wire or something. But The funny thing is that Ribisi backs him up into onto the furnace, and the guy's coat is on fire.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, he's going to get out of this. But nope, the guy just finishes killing him and then just takes his coat off.
And this is one of those things in movies that you see a lot. You know, he chokes. Giovanni Ribisi loses consciousness, and he's out, and the guy puts him down, and then, you know, leaves because he's choked him to death. It takes a lot more to choke someone.
Yeah,
when
he
they
does
just
it very
lose.
quickly.
Yeah, when you just first lose consciousness, if somebody puts you down, your body's gonna kick in and right back up. He would need to continue choking him for a good minute or two after he lost consciousness if he wanted to make sure the job was done.
Well, maybe because his coat was on fire, it gave him extra power.
There you go. He activated his I don't know, his inner chakra. Up, down, down, and then
He's an X-Men.
there you go.
So Ribisi is Dead City population killer, and Brolin has to tell like his family, which is a pretty heart-wrenching scene.
Yes.
Gives his kid a big ol' hug, and yeah, I think at this point, Wooters also gets Emma Stone to stay with Jackie.
Oh, well, don't forget the drive-by was at at
Brolin's
place.
Oh no, we are not scared of this because
Yeah.
they attempt to shoot. They shoot up his house, which
Yep.
his wife is there, obviously. When he gets there to find out what happened, there's blood all on the floor, and he's like, "Oh God, my wife is dead." Nope,
Yeah.
she is given birth.
Yes. They have a nice tender moment in the bathtub, and I just wrote, "Oh, it's a beautiful. Let's name him Remington." Yeah, because she was almost shot to death.
They scared the baby out of her.
Yeah. Literally.
Also, that baby is not a newborn baby.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination.
At least, hey, you know what? At least it wasn't a plastic baby doll.
Oh, like American Sniper?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why don't you ever see that baby up close on screen?
Well, I guess the word on that is that they actually had a kid to be in the scene, but they ended up going along with the shoot, and due to like the child regulation for labors and stuff like that, the kid was like, "Nope, offset. You got to pay them."
Child regulation ruining movies every day.
Well, you know, if they just hashtag child murdered the kid, right?
No.
Asshole.
What are you talking about? I would
Like
never.
I said, I told Brent, you two need Jesus.
He said pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it scares the baby out of her. Then we get Emma Stone. Yeah, Emma Stone's been left with Wooter's friend Jackie, who again, this is another point where I thought, oh shit, he's gonna end up selling her down the river. I thought Jackie might have turned there.
Yeah. But Jackie does turn, but he turns more towards being a good guy and protecting her.
Yeah, he knocks out two of the thugs. He beats up Not Flea and the other guy. And he challenges Mickey Cohen to a boxing match.
They look alike.
I just like calling him Not Flea.
Not Flea.
He challenges Mickey Cohen to a boxing, and Mickey Cohen shoots him. I'm pretty sure that's a disqualification.
Because he's like, yeah, my boxing days are behind me.
My boxing days are behind me, but not my gangster days.
Yeah.
Pow pow.
Yeah. He just goes straight for the DQ.
Importantly, we should note that Emma Stone witnesses this whole thing as well.
Yes.
She's hiding in the bushes.
Yeah.
And she sees the shooting.
Yeah.
So back to Brolin and Wooters. They're hanging out on the deck of his shot-up house. And they're kind of, it's over. Brolin's had to give up his badge, which was...
Yeah, and he has like kind of a jump on the grenade type moment where they're like, we're going to... This is done. They're going to fire me. They'll probably take your badge. Your career at the LAPD is over. And they'll probably bring in somebody who's more amenable to the ways of Mickey Cohen.
Right. The weird thing, though, is that the chief is like, we're taking your badge, but then later Brolin says, like, I have my badge till tomorrow.
Right, because he has that, they have that, and that's when he kind of, I don't know, goes home or whatever. There's a lot of timeline issues in this movie, but that's definitely one of them because they have their little thing on his porch, and Emma Stone shows up and says that she's going to be the witness.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to get a warrant because he's only got, like you said, he's only got his badge for another day.
Yeah, which I was like, what? Shouldn't it be going now?
Yeah, usually it's like turning your gun and badge effective immediately.
Turning your gun and your badge when you're ready.
But that being said, it might, like Nick Nolte, who hasn't been dismissed at this point, probably isn't going to be the one to dismiss him. So whoever is going to be named the new commissioner will be the one who dismisses him. So maybe that's how they're getting around that.
True. Yeah.
So they go to see the judge, who's the Class A whoremonger. Oh,
uh-oh. That the judge right there?
He's right here. Yeah. Hello. Yes. But you were a Class A whoremonger. No. You had chlamydia at least 3 times. Yes, and crabs. We know. Crabs 4 times. Yes. So okay. No, I'm not retracting my statement, good sir. Good day. Good day.
He must be up there in years by this point.
Well, I think it's all the antiretrovirals that he was taking for for chlamydia and the crabs and the gonorrhea, and eventually AIDS.
The gonorrhea, the clap, and the nope, not going there.
So yeah, they
blackmailed the judge,
essentially saying like, yeah, either sign this or we're gonna tell everybody what you've been doing.
Yeah, which I'm also like, but everybody pretty much knows he's on the take. Like, I don't know what that's gonna do if Cohen owns half the city, but okay.
Well, that's just it. But they said you're gonna resign. You're gonna sign this and then you're gonna resign.
Yeah.
So that even if Cohen does say anything, he's not going to be a sitting judge if something comes about him, But they're like, yeah, we're going to serve this warrant. And, oh my God, the movie, if it could have been more of this, I loved this action piece. This was fun to watch.
This grand finale?
Yes. Oh, yeah. So good.
So this is, Mickey Cohen has holed himself up in this giant hotel. He's bought out the whole thing. Every single room.
Every room, yep.
And he's got all his henchmen there, I guess. The Gangster Squad is how many? There's 5 of them? 6
5
of them?
Of them, yeah.
Okay.
I think there'd be 5 at this time because they killed
Keeler, yeah.
They killed Keeler because
Jesus, no. The judge again?
A second. No. Hello? Yes. No, I stand by my statement. No. We'll talk to my lawyers then. No, it's on the podcast. I don't care. I don't care.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, sir. Anyhow.
Whoremonger.
Whoremonger, indeed. So he's... there would have been what? There would have been... Christmas was left. T-1000's left. Falcon's left. Drive is left. And Thanos. So 5. 5 of them are left.
Right. Referred to as Drive. So we got Thanos and Murder by Numbers. And nobody remembers that movie. Not even Ryan Gosling. Yeah, and they just show up to essentially face off against, I would say, like, at least in the high double digits.
It was absolutely a scene directly out of L.A. Noire.
Yeah, and they just shoot that place up.
Yep, just like L.A. Noire.
Right.
Love that game.
Unfortunately, we lose another casualty. We have another casualty here.
Yes.
Because I believe the T-1000 gets killed.
Which I don't understand why he just didn't use his liquid metal to heal up.
I know. I expected it, and then it didn't.
I liked.
He didn't want to blow his cover.
Yeah, I suppose. when they're flushing Mickey out, he comes down. Here comes Santa Claus.
When he said that, for a second I was like, "You're Joe Pesci." I really pictured him as Joe Pesci. But yeah, because Mickey Cohen comes downstairs, he lights up this Christmas spread here in the lobby.
Yeah.
There's a great slow motion shot of an ornament getting smashed by one of the bullets.
Their use of Matrix time in this movie was a tad egregious.
Yeah, a little overused maybe.
Yeah.
But he gets away in a car with another thug. However, Josh Brolin jumps on board, shoots the driver,
And all I can say, where was his skateboard when he needed it?
Right?
If he'd had his skateboard from thrashing, he would have been able to just skitch on that car and follow them the whole time.
His skateboard and his glove.
Yeah.
It would have been over just like that.
Yeah.
So he ends up shooting the driver. This is where T-1000 gets his one last shot in because someone's about to kill Josh Brolin.
Christmas comes over and helps him aim.
So we get a nice little follow-up on that.
Shoot where he is, not where where he's going to be, not where he is.
Right, so Christmas essentially helps to kill the guy, and then, of course, T-1000 just falls over dead immediately after.
Mm-hmm.
That great movie trope where they get the one last thing and then just die.
That's my boy.
Yeah. And then,
which I was like, man, could you, like, if he had been like his illegitimate kid, that'd have been perfect.
Oh, I thought you were going to say this was a crossover with the actual movie That's My Boy.
Oh.
Oof.
So,
I've never actually seen it. I've heard it's terrible.
I saw it at the drive-in.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. I definitely believed that Adam Sandler and
Andy
Samberg were, father and son.
Yeah, I could see the resemblance actually quite a bit. But
and Vanilla Ice was in it too, so that was delightful.
Was he building a house?
No, he was just Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He was building a house. So, yeah, by the way, guys, if you want to see Vanilla Ice these days, he's on TV building houses.
Yeah, well, at least he's staying busy.
There you go. He's not rapping while he's doing it, though, so minus points.
Apparently still cutting albums from time to time, though.
Yikes.
Well, at least he gets to do what he loves.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. So we get a nice boxing match between.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why does he want to do that?
With a sweet hip toss in it.
Why
I don't get
he
that
wanna
either.
box him? Yeah, because Josh Brolin has him basically arrested right there. Because Mickey Cohen's like, "All right, copper, put me in cuffs," and Brolin's like, "Nah, I'm gonna box with a guy who has legitimate boxing training." And was like a good fighter in the ring, and this is what we're gonna do right now.
Yeah,
this is my strategy. Although this is the same guy that his strategy for busting up a drug deal was just shooting everyone. So, he's not the smartest guy.
So, but he does win the fight, and they arrest him.
Oh, he pounds the shit out of his face.
Yeah, and Mickey Cohen goes to jail for killing Jackie. The Gangster Squad gets no recognition at all because that was part of the deal, right?
Yep.
But Josh Brolin and Muriel Enos do keep Sean Penn's dog.
I didn't notice that.
Yes, the bulldog that he had. They took his dog.
I mean, I'd give the dog a good home.
Yep. And then they go to the beach, and I'm assuming he took up skateboarding afterwards.
Yes, this is a prequel to Thrashing, even though in Thrashing he's like 20 years old.
Well, it's his grandson.
It's
in the family bloodline, man. It's that ingrained talent. It's in his DNA.
I half expected at this point like a Wag the Dog ending where like none of them got credit and one of them got so mad that he was gonna tell everyone and then they were like, no, you can't do it, and like he ends up getting like shot or something. So yes, that was Gangster Squad.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be right back.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you by HostGator. HostGator is a leading provider of shared, reseller, VPS, and dedicated hosting solutions. Award-winning support is available 24/7, 365 days a year via phone, email, and live chat. Discover why over 9 million websites trust HostGator. Use the coupon code SCHLUCK for 25% off your first purchase. That's SCHLUCK, SCHLOCK, for 25% off your first purchase.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you today by GameItAll.com. Whether it's video game news, the latest in music, or movie reviews, GameItAll.com is your one-stop shop for all nerdy talk.
Oh man, all these wrestling news sites are terrible.
What's the matter, young lad?
Ah, Mother Superior! No, don't hit me! I can't find a good wrestling news site.
A good wrestling news site? What's so good about a good wrestling news site anyway?
Well, I just need a place where I can get all the backstage news and rumors and scoop.
All right.
Don't hit me. I left the orphanage a while ago.
All right, listen, Billy's younger brother. I'm not going to hit you this time,
Oh, thank you.
but I will tell you about a great wrestling news site.
Okay. It's not terrible like the last one, right?
It's not terrible like the last one. It's called WrestlingNewsWorld.com. You can get all the latest wrestling news, spoilers, results, all the news from all over the wrestling world.
That sounds great.
No,
Yeah.
yes, but you know what?
What?
It's not going to sound great if you keep up with that mouth of yours.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Again, I left the orphanage a while ago. If you don't leave, I'm gonna tell my parents.
I have legal precedent over 37 states. Get back here!
Oh! Stop hitting me! Ow!
WrestlingNewsWorld.com. And we're back!
Hey.
Nathan?
Yes, Brendan.
I think it's time for...
Oh, the low haiku.
Uh-huh. Now, who would like to start?
I am prepared.
Okay.
Josh Brolin, no thrash. LA beatdown to Sean Penn. None of this happened.
Good twist. Good plot twist. I did fixate a little bit on one detail in my low haiku.
Oh, well, please do enlighten us.
Hold up now, Sean Penn. She could be your damn daughter. Get away from her. And that's how
I like the obviously the shout out to the Time's Up Me Too movement.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the shout out to aliens. Yes. That was, I'm glad nothing came of it. So, Nathan.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think we trashed this thing too hard, but, you know what they say, even though we gave you our opinion. Don't take a word for us. Yeah, because this movie. Now, what do you have the Rotten Tomatoes page up? I didn't even get to check the rating on that.
It's got a 32% for the critics.
Okay,
but a 57% with the audience.
Interesting.
So, I think the violence is what really appealed to most people.
So not a law-abiding citizen type gap.
No.
But still a gap.
Yes.
So I mean. Well, this first one here, I guess, is from Tom Charity at CNN.
He doesn't sound like he's too charitable.
I'm assuming this was breaking news. Gangster Squad looks the part, but it's so superficial it practically evaporates before our eyes.
I think that kind of goes to the lack of character development that we see throughout the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is unfortunate. But Anthony Lane, he didn't care for it much either. Says some of the clothes and makeup feel as glossy as paint, but those aside, we seem to be borrowing through a display of secondhand goods, or browsing rather through a display of secondhand goods.
Yep. This is a positive review, but I'll just read it. So it's from Richard Roper, of RichardRoper.com. Okay. It says, Gangster Squad is a highly stylized pulp fiction period piece based on true events.
Inspired by true events. It is not based on a true story.
But I like how his positive snippet is not really anything like.
No,
it's just highly stylized.
From the Denver Post, Ricardo Baca, he did like it. It might sound like a stretch, imagining Penn playing that intense, idiosyncratic a villain, but the lauded veteran actor pulls a left hook, then a right, and after a wild body shot at the tail end of the film, you see the true mania behind his eyes. So I don't really like the movie. I think you just like Sean Penn in the movie.
Sounded like it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Sean Penn is in like, if you combine all his scenes, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Maybe not even that high.
Yeah. You certainly notice it though when he's on screen. There's no.
Oh yeah.
There's no subtlety.
It's you know what they're doing is I think they're trying to do like a De Niro in The Untouchables again.
Okay.
Where De Niro was Al Capone, but he's really not on screen that often. But when he is, he takes over. So this is from Steven Rebello from Playboy Online.
Okay.
She says, not enough tits. No. It says, okay, so maybe nobody expected Gangster Squad to be in the league of, say, Chinatown or LA Confidential. But even on the level of pure bullet-splattered fun, this thing is so vaporous, that it slides out of memory even while you're watching it.
Yeah. Well, I got Entertainment Tells Steven Silver. He noted, probably the year's most squandered cast in a boring, by-the-numbers crime film that plays like a fifth-generation redo of LA Confidential. It's not entirely wrong.
It's nowhere near what it should be with the people in it.
Absolutely.
The last one I just have one audience review that I wanted to read. This is...
I like this movie!
Well, no, this is what I question. Okay, so this person, the name is Sanity Assassin.
Great.
And this person is an audience super reviewer. And when you hear this, I think you'll question what it takes to be a super reviewer. His review is this. Ryan Gosling surrounded by lots of explosions.
Delightful.
What? So, I'm assuming a super reviewer just means you write a lot of reviews, because there's no way this guy gets upvoted or anything like that.
I'll give you my last one here. This was from Cinema Crazed's Felix Vasquez Jr. It's a real short one, but biting nonetheless. Okay. This movie makes 1991's Mobsters look like The Godfather in comparison.
Oof.
I don't know if it was that bad.
I will say, I've never actually seen Mobsters, but I've seen bits and pieces, and that movie looked like trash.
I think it was just an excuse to get the latest It guys in a movie together in like suits, so they looked, something for the ladies.
Guys, remember Steven Dorff?
Yeah, I love Blade.
That's right. Blade and Judgment Night.
And Deuces Wild.
Oh, God.
That one should be on the list for sure.
I just bought that the other day for $2.
Deuce for a deuce, eh?
That's right. So, I mean, I guess we kind of answered this, but would you recommend people watch this as like a quote-unquote bad / questionable movie?
No, it's serviceable. But I mean, unless you're a fan of that genre, like unless you like 40s gangsters movies, you don't have to go out of your way to see this. It's fine, but it's nothing that's required viewing.
Yeah, I would say like if it's not in Canada, but if it's on Netflix or some other streaming service in the States that you already have, and you're like bored on a Friday night or something,
go shoot some pool, because honestly, I'm not saying like I can't say like go out of your way to see this.
No, and I'm not saying go out of your way, but if you're, I don't know, it'd probably be like a good like hangover movie, but you don't really have to pay a whole lot of attention.
Yeah, throw it on and like clean your living room or something.
Yeah, I mean it's totally watchable. I didn't have a hard time watching it like we did a couple weeks ago.
Oh, God damn it!
But yeah, I mean it's glowing recommendations from us both. Aside. Is your good friend here with us today?
Oh, yes, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to get him in here.
Yep.
Hello, you two.
Hello.
Yeah, you watched Gangster Squad, right?
Yes, we did.
You're never getting that time back. Just want you to know that. But if you do want to spend some quality time and be proud of what you did with your time, check out Montrose Monkington TV on YouTube, where some of my videos up more lately have been the wrestling and whatnot. But I think I've been having some fun getting out and about. You can also check out my Facebook page, Montrose Monkington III Esquire and Friends. And you can also follow me on that Twitter platform at Montrose the Third. That's the number 3RD. I'm on there, and you can just have a delightful exchange with a delightfully British monkey puppet. Thank you. More later.
Thank you, and you can also find us on Twitter. This podcast at WWTT Podcast. We're also on Instagram under the same name, same username. You can also, whatever, obviously you're listening to this on some kind of podcast platform, but you can also, as well as Podbean, you can also find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify. We also have a YouTube channel. We're also on the Al Jazeera Network, of course, Teddy Ruxpin Appreciation Week, Human Sentai Pod,
Podify, Podkit Knife.
Yep. Spark,
ABC Spark, but not Disney, right?
Right.
And HBO Premium.
I almost got them all. It was so close.
You're good. Well, yeah. Maybe we should have like copy, like something you can read.
Really should. I really should just have an audio clip I just plop in at the end every time. Copy is a good idea.
There you go.
So we don't have anything to hint at for next week because we don't know what it's going to be.
No, but it'll be the last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Final week of Listener's Choice will be next week. So make sure you head to our Twitter account on Tuesday to listen to our last draw. See what we get. I'd say we got about we were about 50-50 lucky so far.
So far.
But we'll see what fate has in store for us.
For all of it, there's only one that's been just fucking ridiculously unwatchable.
Yeah, fucking Cherokee Kid.
Yeah, right.
No.
I did retract that to Robert Hooper, that he is definitely not the biggest idiot ever. That definitely goes to Steve Walsh with an O.
Fuck Muck.
Fuck. Oh my god, I'm still seething from that movie.
Oh, but Nathan.
Yes, Brendan.
Regarding this movie, regarding Gangster Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Got any queries, any questions?
I do have a couple quandaries. In a movie that has arguably a stacked cast, Oscar winners in this movie, and also in a movie that has a very is borrowing heavily from legitimate historical events and figures. To be able to take something that is really fish in a barrel when you get right down to it, and to just kind of make it so dismissible, I really need to know, what were they thinking?
Hi, I'm Ellen, and I'm scared we exist in the Matrix.
I'm Jaslyn, and I'm bad at ad-libbing.
And you're listening to High Expectations, the promo. For our international listeners, you can appreciate our cute New Zealand accents. For our local listeners, you might bump into us in the street 3 times in the same hour. Our podcast is about pop culture,
sexuality,
relationships,
interesting hobbies,
banter, and ragging on each other.
You can find us on
Apple Podcasts,
SoundCloud,
Pocket Casts,
Podcast Addict,
or anywhere you might like to find podcasts.
Yay, please subscribe.
Goodbye!
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here.
Listen to me. Please listen. If you don't, if you won't, if you fail to understand, then the same incredible terror that's menacing me will strike at you!
Are you ready to enter the sci-fi double feature drive-in? Every month we hold a special double feature with a very interesting theme thought up by your host, the conspiracy-loving Elisa, and yours truly, Jarrett the Kaiju Man Wegelin. We discuss giant monsters, little monsters, genetic abominations, robots gone awry, aliens coming to Earth, cryptids, and anything in between. So join us at the Sci-Fi Double Feature Drive-In podcast every first and third Thursday of the month. And don't forget to stop by our snack bar first.
Hi, I'm Jay Batts.
And I'm Michael.
And we're the hosts of a very thought-provoking show called The What If Podcast. On it, we'll explore the big
and little
what ifs of life and steer our listeners toward a better understanding of the
real or hypothetical
situations we might find ourselves in.
Or not. On our journey, we'll learn interesting facts and fictions about the everyday world. And sometimes,
most of the times,
we'll dive headlong into rabbit holes that slide up against the subject and sharply turn away from it.
Come along with us. We'll have fun and learn something new together. New episodes release every other Tuesday. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Music, and anywhere fine podcasts are archived.